Hello there, YouTube. This is Oliver again. This is the second video of this week. Could it be better? Well, it could if we had the third video as well this week. But why not save the best to the future? Okay, today I don't have any games to demonstrate. Or, well, I have how many games as is possible to have. But today I'm going to show you how it is to use the Screenreader window eyes in Windows 3.1. Or actually it's Windows 3.11 or 1.1, but nobody calls it that, but that's the full name if you want to use it. Since I unfortunately doesn't have a real Windows 3.1 machine, I will be doing this in VMware, the virtual machine software. And this is not a tutorial for VMware. There are multiple tutorials on YouTube or in text formats and things on the internet. And I think that there even is a few tutorials actually for how to use VMware if you're blind and a screen reader user. So I'm not going to cover this, at least not today. If you really want me to do one someday, I could, but this is not the point for this video. So, in this virtual machine, I have some softwares that I have installed, which I'm going to show you. I also have the screen reader window eyes using the speech synthesizer Keynote Gold. Because that's the only speech synthesizer I have found that actually works well in Windows 3.1, except from the hardware speech synthesizers, but I do not have any hardware speech synthesizers. Would be nice to have, but I don't have. So here is the virtual machine, and to launch a virtual machine I'll press Alt-L and then we wait for a few seconds. So Windows 3.1 doesn't boot automatically. Since Windows 3.1 is actually not an operating system, it is a powerful, or for its time, a powerful software for MS-DOS. So now we are at the DOS prompt. However, you could set a certain program in DOS to start automatically when you start the computer, so it would be possible to make it. But I have not fixed it, and will probably not do. So now I have switched focus over to the virtual machine. And like I said, we are at the DOS prompt, but we are actually in the Windows folder by default, so we are at C:\Windows. Which means that the only thing I have to do now is type win, press enter, which will launch the virtual machine. I suppose that the program is called win.something, but it's only one win in this folder, so that's why it recognizes. So let's do it. And press enter.
Keynote Gold Multimedia Speech Demo. Speech will run for 15 minutes from first load. Windows 3.1 Optional Applications Program Manager Arrow.
Two things, or actually maybe three, but first of all, it isn't a 15-minute demo since I've cracked it, so but this message is still there. Secondly, the voice pitch and rate were drastically changed, and this is a bug I think, but I don't know if it's a thing with window eyes or if it's a thing that I'm running Windows 3.1 in a virtual machine instead of actual hardware. We will have to live with this. 20% of the time it actually works and speaks at a normal pitch, but that's rare. So we were told that this is Windows 3.1, Windows Eyes 3.1, and we are at the Program Manager. And the Program Manager is like what the Explorer was before Windows 95. An interesting thing is that you can't press the Windows key in Windows 3.1. Nothing happens. Because that launches the Start menu in later Windows versions. But Windows 3.1 does not have a start menu. It doesn't have a desktop, and even not a taskbar, or those classical icons and things. However, we could still use the old traditional key command Alt-Tab to navigate through Windows, so I'm holding down Alt here and pressing Tab.
Windows.
The Windows window is opened.
Program Manager.
And the Program Manager and okay.
Windows.
So if I release the Alt key.
Windows active program point 0, 0, 0 associated program point 0, 0, 0.
Yeah, don't ask me what that means. And we don't have to know. I could show you the Windows menus real quick, so I'm pressing the Alt key.
F equals file pull down.
File, that's the menu. So you know that in today's Windows you first hear the option, like file, and maybe a specific short command if there are any. And then you hear the first letter of the option you are at. In Windows 3.1 it's different. So first you hear the letter, then an equal sign, and then the actual option that you have selected. But here I could navigate with the right arrow key to show all the different menus that we have here.
S equals screen pull down. K equals keyboard pull down.
So pull down means that it's a menu that you could arrow down in. I will not go through all the menus because then you will get bored and turn off this video, and that would not be good for my status on YouTube. So let's continue just through and show you the titles of the menus.
M equals mouse pull down.
Mouse, it has mouse navigations, that's cool.
O equals hotkeys. Dialog. C equals cursoring. Dialog.
I don't understand why he says dialogue, but because it's a menu.
G equals general pull down.
Okay, we have a general settings here. So we have navigated far to the right, and here we have the general settings. Why not have that at the beginning, after file or something?
V equals verbosity pull down. L equals global pull down. H equals help pull down.
Maybe they are sub-menus, I don't know.
System pull down.
Yeah, and here's a system menu, you know, this classical that still exists. If I arrow down.
R equals restore. M equals move. S equals size. N equals minimize. X equals maximize. C equals close Alt F4.
Yes, and then we actually had a command we could press. But I'm going to press escape because I don't want to exit Windows.
Menu closed. Menu closed. Program Manager. Optional applications.
For some reason it moved us to the Program Manager and not the Windows window. Interesting. Okay. To navigate in the Program Manager, it has a quite interesting navigation method. So you press Control Tab to go forward through all the folders. And then you press Control Shift Tab to go backwards through the folders. To open a folder, you press Enter on the folder, and then you start to navigate using your arrow keys. But you're still in the Program Manager, so it's not like that you have changed it. Like you're still in, you know, the Explorer when you open a folder in modern Windows. But the difference is that you could still see the other folders in the Program Manager. In Explorer, if you don't create a new window, you see one folder, and that is the folder which you have opened. Except from Windows 95, because Windows 95 automatically opens a lot of windows, and even Windows NT4 does that. But you'll still have, I mean, if I press
Windows Program Manager,
we still only have Program Manager regardless of what I open here, until I open a specific program, because if I open a specific program, it will show up when I press Alt-Tab. But it will be way easier for you to understand if I actually show this. So
text to speech.
That's one folder.
Accessories.
Accessories. So now I'm holding down Control and pressing Tab, so I'm just going to go through all the folders here.
Audio software. Windows. Main. Applications. Games.
Applications, aren't these all applications?
Network. S Technologies. Early Media Rec. Bundled applications.
Why does he pause bundled applications? Why not say bundled applications?
Microsoft Office. Startup. Optional applications. Text to speech.
And now we're back at text to speech. I'm going to show you the Office programs. Because they are not there by default. I've installed Office 4.3, the version just before Office 95. And I don't know if Office 95 works on Windows 3.1. From what I've heard, Office 4.3 was the last version. So I'm now going to press Ctrl-Shift-Tab.
Optional.
One more.
Startup. Microsoft Office.
Microsoft Office. So we have now selected or highlighted the Microsoft Office folder. But if I press the arrow keys here...
Microsoft Office. Microsoft
yes, he's only
Office.
saying Microsoft Office because we haven't opened it. And you can't arrow in a closed folder. So we have to open the folder. Not like you could do in the tree view in modern Windows when you press the right arrow key to expand and the left arrow key to collapse. No, you press enter.
Multi-document window. Microsoft Office. Microsoft Word.
And now we are at Microsoft Word. Strange because it begins with a W, or after the word Microsoft is a W, so it should be at the end, but okay. Windows 3.1, it's has some logical issues sometimes, but it's fun to play with. So now we have opened the folder. But now I'm going to show what I mean, because the folder is open, but we still have, if I press Alt-Tab...
Window eyes. Multi-document window. Program Manager.
Yes, Program Manager. So this title is still Program Manager. And actually, if I press Ctrl-Tab now...
Startup. Optional
it continues through the other folders that we saw before. But let's press Ctrl-Shift-Tab again to go back to the Microsoft Office, because I wanted to show a program there.
Startup. Multi-document window. Microsoft Office. Microsoft Word.
So that's how Windows announces that it's open. It says document window when you are at open folder. And I could open a lot of folders, and all of them will be announced as multi-document window, and then the folder name, and then the selected application. Or folder if you have a folder in a folder. But I think you understood that. So let's press the arrow keys here.
Money demo.
Money demo? Demo? Okay, if I get money, I want to keep them. I don't want a demo version of my money, but okay.
Money demo.
But, okay, so we were at the top. So, left arrow key, maybe?
Office compatible demos.
So it's sorted like how Windows Explorer was in Windows XP and earlier, with a rows and column system. In Windows Vista, they started to place it like they do in Windows 11 today, from top to bottom. So I'm pressing the left arrow key now.
Photodisk README license agreement.
I haven't read you, but I have installed you.
Microsoft Imager.
Not useful, I guess.
Microsoft Imager. Microsoft Imager.
Okay, so now we're at the top. So let's press the down arrow key to go to the next row.
Office README help.
Right arrow key to go through the columns or
Office setup.
Office setup. I guess it's customizing Office and not the Office installer, but that was also called setup. Or is it? I don't know.
Microsoft Office.
And then we have Microsoft. I thought I was in Microsoft. Oh.
Microsoft Word. Microsoft Word.
Okay, is that the end? Press down arrow key.
Graph autoconvert.
No, it wasn't. Okay, left arrow key.
Microsoft PowerPoint.
So now I'm going left. I don't understand the order of these programs. It's absolutely not sorted by the alphabet.
MS Excel samples.
MS Excel samples.
Microsoft Excel.
And there's Microsoft Excel. So maybe it's backward now because I'm navigating with the left arrow keys at the row.
Microsoft Excel.
Yeah. Let's see if it's one more row here.
Microsoft Access.
It is.
MS Access Workgroup at Bookshelf 1994.
Bookshelf, I don't know what that does. I've tried the program, but I don't get the point of that.
QuickShelf 1994.
Okay.
QuickShelf 19. QuickShelf 1994.
That was the last column and the last row. So why not go with Word? Everyone knows how Word looks, right? But how did it look in 1994? Let's find out. We'll go up to that one.
Microsoft Word.
Press enter.
Insert on, custom control, Microsoft Word document 1, IBM.
Okay, that means that it opened it. So when I press Alt Tab now,
Program Manager, Windows, Microsoft QuickShelf, Microsoft Word document 1, Program
it
Manager.
actually opened two programs, Microsoft QuickShelf and Microsoft Word. Let's see what Microsoft QuickShelf is and if I can close it and still keep Word open.
Microsoft QuickShelf, Microsoft QuickShelf, arrow,
Arrow?
blank, blank.
So I was pressing the arrow keys and that's all I got. Could I close it with Alt F4 maybe?
Multi-document window, Microsoft Office, Microsoft
Now I got
Word,
back to the program manager, press Alt Tab.
Window, program, window,
No,
program,
it actually closes Word. Okay,
Microsoft Word.
let's relaunch it.
Insert on,
Okay.
IBM.
Now we are here and we could type something, for example...
You,
No.
F, what, E, L, space, A.
So I typed something, pressed enter, and we got to the row, the line below. So that's the classical ding sound that you hear in Windows 3.1, Windows 95, and Windows NT4, even NT3, I think. So let's read what I wrote.
This is a test for my awesome YouTube channel. Oh, for my awesome viewers, I mean.
Yeah. So that's the thing. The menu here look quite similar, I think, to how the Word system in the menu system in Word looked before Word 2007, because Word 2003 and below had a way more simple menu system, which I really prefer. I actually use Office 2003 a lot, since I think the menu system is way more understandable than 2007. Or is it because just an excuse to use old softwares? I don't know. So we could just press the Alt key and I show you the menu titles here.
Child system pull down arrow. F equals file pull down.
So we begin at child system.
E equals edit pull down. V equals view. I equals insert pull down.
I think you get the thing. It's very similar to the classical Office menu, so I'm going to press escape because we could... We hear a beep sound which sounds like an old... I don't know, 8 or 16-bit DOS sound. I don't know why it's there, but okay. So, if we want to save this document, I press Alt F4, or I could press Ctrl S, but I want to close Word at the same time.
Button Y equals yes. System pull down. Microsoft Word. Question symbol. Do you want to save changes to document 1? Yes, no, cancel, help, arrow.
So we have...
Button N equals no. Button Y equals
so it's saying
yes.
the type first, but I think the even newer versions of Windows that were compatible with Windows 9X does this as well. So press enter.
edit box n equals file name doc1.doc system pull down save as file name directories OK doc1.doc seams office winward cancel scroll up arrow.
I pressed the control key to silence the speech. So here we have some text fields and buttons. I'm going to press tab through.
List box no selected item.
It's a list box, I think.
List box D equals directories winward.
This is quite complicated. I don't understand this file structure of Windows 3.1 in total, but
combo box V equals drives graphic CD graphic.
Okay, so
Combo box T equals save file as type Word document graphic.
okay.
Button OK. Button cancel. Button O equals options. Button H equals help.
Yeah, I need help, but I don't want to waste time with that right now.
Checkbox unchecked. Save native picture format. Edit box N equals file name.
Okay, so I'm going to name it something like
T test document.
test document. And then,
List box no selected item.
what is this list box?
No selected no selected
Okay, there's
item.
nothing to select in it.
List box D equals directories winward.
Okay, so here we select a folder.
Letters. Startup. Winward. Office. C. Winward. C. Office. Winward.
Okay, so if I navigate, it doesn't matter if I navigate with a down arrow key or right arrow key, I think, because it does the same thing.
Letters. Startup. Template. Word. Word. Temp. Letters. Winward. Office.
Okay,
Winward.
it was a WinWorld at default, so let's set it there.
Combo box V equals drives graphic CD graphic.
Okay, so here you select the hard drive or a floppy or a CD, I think.
Combo box T equals save file as type.
And there's the
Word
file
document
types.
graphic.
Okay, but let's press enter and save this thing.
Word document graphic button N equals no system pull down Microsoft Word question
Error?
symbol. Do you want to replace the existing breadpoint HLP? Yes, no. Help.
Oh, it's selected.
Button cancel.
Okay.
Button N equals no. Edit box N equals file.
Let's press escape out of here.
Microsoft Word document.
So, I don't understand this full. I suppose that I, by accident, selected a file that it wanted to replace. Let's press Alt F4
button N equals no.
and exit this.
Multi-document window. Microsoft Office. Microsoft.
So that's Office. And I won't show more programs today unless you want me to do it. I'll do it in another video. So I still don't do it today. But I'm going to close this and to close that Windows because now you heard that the Office was still open. So I'm going to press Control F4 to close it. Not Alt F4 because we don't want to exit Program Manager. And exiting Program Manager means exit Windows. So I'm pressing Control F4.
Startup.
And then it moves us directly to the next folder. So we are not still at the Microsoft Office, which we were at before, because we closed Microsoft Office, and then we got to the startup, which is the next in the list. However, if we press Ctrl-Shift-Tab, we'll get back to Microsoft Office folder, but now it's closed. So that's a short demo of how Windows, Keynote Gold, Program Manager, and Microsoft Word. Maybe I will do a video, if anyone wants to hear it, about how you use the file manager that is built into Windows 3.1, but that would require me to explore it a little bit more before, because I don't like to learn things in a video. I already want to know it before I start recording, and that was not the case through this thing. Okay, So let's press Alt F4 to exit this thing.
Button OK dialog. System pull down. Exit Windows information symbol. This will end your Windows session. Default button OK button cancel.
I want to exit my Windows session. I forgot to tell you that this pitch and rate problem can't be fixed through the Windows settings. Or if it can, please let me know, because I have not figured out how to do it. And it's annoying to hear keynote goal at this sound all the time. But okay, let's press enter here and exit. And something that's really very important, I don't know if this is a VMware problem or if this problem would be if you run Windows 3.1 on a real old machine. But if Keynote Gold speaks, when you press enter and exit Windows, he will crash. And if he crashes, Windows will not exit, it will freeze, and then you will have to turn off your virtual machine manually, or your real computer manually, if that problem is for a real computer as well. So, but he's totally quiet, so I'm going to press enter. There we heard the classical Windows 3.1 shutdown sound, or the message sound in later Windows versions actually. MS-DOS does not exit, because MS-DOS is the actual operating system here. It's not Windows. And I don't know any other way to exit MS-DOS than simply shut down the whole virtual machine by exiting VMware. Because usually you could type exit to exit MS-DOS, but it actually restarts DOS in this case, so I don't know. But this is not a VMware tutorial, so you don't have to think about that. So that is Windows 3.1 with Windows Eyes and Keynote Gold in VMware. And you had some Microsoft Word 4.3 as well. I hope you have enjoyed it and that you like old operating systems and old speech synthesizers like I do. If you have any other things you want to know, or just some nostalgia things that you remember from your, I don't know, childhood or something that you want me to show so you could relive some nice memories and revive them, let me know in the comment section below. If you want to get in private contact with me, you could send an email to theworldofspeechsynthesizers@gmail.com. And the World of Speech Synthesizers is also my other YouTube channel, so if you're really interested in text-to-speech voices and speech synthesizers, and yeah, that's actually the same thing, you could follow that channel as well. That's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next video. Goodbye.